Did you know the last woolly mammoth died only like 2,000 years before Jesus was born? Isn't that kind of weird? It lived on Wrangel Island, off the northeastern coast of Russia. Wrangel Island is a prime breeding ground for polar bears, and the temperature there once went down to negative 71.9 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning that the last woolly mammoth lived all alone in weather roughly 140 degrees colder than what we're experiencing right now, surrounded by polar bears, aka the largest carnivores that live on land. Next year, a lot of us are going to feel like that mammoth probably did. There are no two ways about it. Freshman year can be lonely. To make matters worse, we're leaving behind some amazing things here. The pairs and groups we have come to identify with, if not live by, are being broken up, at least for the duration of fall term. From Max, Jay, and Fig, to B Squad and their Bs, to Chad and the class of 2014. So much of our world is going to be pulled apart when we leave for school in the fall. Think about what we're getting though. Weeks at a time without parents telling us what to do. All-you-can-eat buffets for every meal. And access to all sorts of wild, depraved parties. Plus classes. Yeah, apparently senior spring doesn't just extend for the rest of our lives. We actually have to get back to work at some point. That said, we're still going to need to go pretty hard to have enough fun to justify what our parents are paying for college. On top of that, we're not really losing what we're leaving behind, if that makes sense. We can hang out over breaks, visit friends at their schools, send postcards, or fax each other. If none of that works, we can always awkwardly stalk one another on Facebook. Anybody here can relive our long-lost freshman year by going to Tucker's page and scrolling through selfies of him with straightened hair and a t-shirt emblazoned with the words, Mother Lover. All jokes aside, that is how we're going to have to remember. But how will PDS remember us? I mean, physically, how will our memory survive here? 5 years from now, there won't be a single kid left who attended high school with us. Figure that within 10 years, almost all the younger siblings of members of this class will have graduated. In 25 years, there probably won't be any teachers left here who taught us. And then what will we be? A few names scratched on dusty plaques, a group photo in the theater lobby, a distant memory in the mind of an ancient staff member. But the thing is, woolly mammoths have been completely extinct for over 4,000 years, and we still remember them. We still even write graduation speeches about them. I don't know what the world is going to look like 4,000 years from now. But I do know that if I'm alive by some miracle of future medicine, I will still remember this PDS class of 2013, and I will still be proud to call myself a part of it. Thank you very much.
Where were y'all when we practiced this on Wednesday? I'm shaking. All right. Yeah, the empty Koros lawn is really, the stacked chairs was better. All right. Thank you all for coming. Before I begin the speech I have prepared, I would like to take a minute to thank all of the people that have tirelessly worked to physically keep this school as incredible of a place as it is. Devlin, Ryan, Tommy, Keith, the awesome buildings and grounds team, and also the custodians who clean up after us. We and our parents, as well as Ms. Benchavengo, We and our parents, as well as Ms. Benchamengo, know how heroic of a job it is to clean up after us. And that's the fact that such a huge event like our graduation can change venues the day before is a result of your dedication and selfless work. Thank you. The class of 2013 sits behind me, anxiously waiting for me to finish my speech so we can receive our diplomas, because an event happening as planned is a rare occurrence for us. There is always bound to be a hiccup, hurricane, or snowstorm that we can rely on to cancel any event. Here we are, just minutes away from getting our diplomas, reflecting on times past, when instead we should be hurrying up to get this over with before the ground trembles or the winds begin to blow or the water for the ice reappears. Let me tell you a few stories about the things that never occurred. Freshman year, a snowstorm deprived us of the opportunity to test our vocal abilities when our cabaret night was canceled. I can assure you that none of you would want to hear most of us sing anyway, but just in case, I spoke to Kaylin and Jack before graduation this morning, and they agreed to reprise the finale to Bugsy Malone, our 8th grade musical, at the reception after graduation. A second snowstorm that year put us out of school for 3 days and canceled our peer group skating party. Sophomore year, desperate to improve our class's reputation, someone sent an anonymous note to the Citizen of the Week committee nominating Taryn for heroically carrying a lower school victim from the playground to the nurse's office on his right shoulder with one hand. Turns out that didn't happen either, as we learned when several members of the class of 2013 had to apologize in front of the entire school for making up the Citizen of the Week. Darren, you're quite an outstanding citizen, but you didn't do that. It was actually Bob. On October 29th, 2010, when we marched as sophomores in the Halloween parade, little did we know that it would be our last PDS Halloween parade. Convinced that it would be impossible to outdo the spectacle of our class, dressed as clowns with red noses and big feet, Mr. Tucker decided to cancel the Halloween parade for the rest of his time as head of upper school. Of course, using bad weather as his cover story, in 2011, he arranged for an overnight Halloween snowstorm, which took out power for days. And then, during our senior year, the infamous Sandy blew through just in time to wipe out Halloween and put us out of school for over a week. Thank you. All right. So here we are, 3 years later, wearing in spirit our class clown outfits from 2010. I'm sure there have been times when Ms. Benchamengo, our dean, has seen us as these clowns, when she patiently herded us towards graduation day. We breathed a sigh of relief when the world did not end last December, as predicted by the Mayan calendar. As the class of many cancellations, we do not take such predictions lightly. 1 second. All right. In keeping with this history of things that have never occurred, it has come to my attention this morning, when I wrote the speech, obviously, that just 2 weeks ago at Senior Awards, an important award was omitted. This award goes to a member of the class of 2013 who was always looking down upon us as we walked into school in the mornings, waiting by the main entrance with a smile and a shake of the hand. He spent the rest of his day tirelessly working to make this institution the best place it can be. Rumor has it that because of his departure, Princeton Day School will not reopen in the fall. Let me just put on my gloves real quick to present this award. Apparently Lawrenceville is still accepting applications. please join me in congratulating Mr. Tucker on this incredible achievement as the class of 2013 awards him Best Head of Upper School Award. I can speak on behalf of the entire school and say we are truly blessed to have a head of school like ours. Mr. Tucker has been waiting for the best class to leave with. And that is why he picked the class of 2013. First of all, you can't park on the circle. He also knows that with our class's track record, he very likely won't have to come to any of our reunions, since they will all be canceled. Mr. Tucker, please come forward before the sinkhole opens. Thank you.
Can I follow your lead without parking on the circle? To introduce our commencement speaker is the president of the senior class, Cody Trio.